Dr. Mitchell, yes. Among his many talents of tuba playing and lecturing and giving out 2 hard tests, Dr. Mitchell also paints. And as we see here today, we see his theme, Scrumptious. Dr. Mitchell was inspired by this theme by heart attack from World War I. We turn around and see the scene. As you can see, we are clearly deep in the trenches of the First World War. In fact, in this time of reference, women had been drafted into the army. This was a terrible turn of events, and the men back home could not but look down the bridge of their noses and wonder what the frick went wrong. It was a problem. You see, the country had become Buddhist. Buddhists are good for nothing but making excellent ramen advertisements. And this is the train of thought that we follow as we see Dr. Mitchell's genius, as he strings multiple elements of culture together to describe just exactly what's happening. He builds a firm foundation. As you can see here, this man in the sideways coffin obviously had an idiotic family for burying him in a sideways freaking coffin. And this man here, to show the depth of what is wrong with society, is actually happy at the fact that he has just been shot and killed by a woman. That's actually not too bad a fate now that I think about it. But as we move on to the next scene, we see that Dr. Mitchell was convinced that this was a scrumptious time because of the deliciousness of hardtack, because of the deliciousness of variety of life and of value that he was getting from the hardtack, from the provision that he had in war. And we can see that here somewhere. As you can see, as the vulture waits for its prey, so too did the World War I army soldier wait for his hardtack. He waited with bated breath. He waited on 1 foot, 2 feet, or no feet at all if he'd lost them already. He sought any sort of shelter it could be. He sought the outstretched arm of a friend. He sought everything. He sought the greatest depths of life's tragedies. He sought acrobatics lessons. It truly was a tragedy that at the time, modern Europe had nothing except 1 chair. 1 chair and a very angry old man who owned that chair. And in fact, it was his pride and joy. It was the chair that had become the love of his life. Yes, it was the chair of the woman who had killed his son in the previous frame. It was that chair. Why this mattered, I have no idea. We go on to our next. And we see that Dr. Mitchell himself had scrumptious ideas in life. He had ways of seeing the world that were special, that were optimistic, that were just flavorful, beyond reason. And as we turn and we see, oh my God. As we turn, we see just the depth that society will go to get scrumptiousness out of living. We see here the Queen of Beasts triumphant atop a mighty pile of man that she has surged upon to escape, bringing her fellow woman along with her. It's clear that this was done through the hair and makeup industry. You can only see by walking around the sculpture what wonderful nails is had by this model. And the hair on this must be a wig. It's just too good.